Nama Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalai Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha. Jaya Jaya Śrī Caitanya Jaya Nityānanda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Śrī Caitanya Jaya Nityānanda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Vande Guru Nisha Bhakta Nisha Nishavatarakan Tat Prakasham Tatat Shakti Krishna Chaitanya Sangyakam Vande Shri Krishna Chaitanya Nityaānanda Sahodito Gaurudaya Pushpavanatau Chitrau Sandau Tamunudau Granthera Arambha Kori Mangalacharana Guru Vaishnava Bhagavan Tinera Smarana Haya Bigana Vinashana Anayasa Sapal Nija Vanchita Purana Jaya Jaya Kripamoy Jagatiranath Sarva Jagatira Kuru Shubhadrishtipad Shri Krishna Gopal Hare Mukunda Govinda He Nanda Kishore Krishna Ha Shri Yashoda Tanaya Prasida Shri Vallabhi Jeevan Radhikesha Vishnu Stotri Nirupani Purushasya Akhyani Ato Vidu Ekam tu Mahata Srashri Dvitiyam Tavanda Samsthitam Tritiyam Sarvabhutastam Tani Gyatva Vimuchyate. Hare Krishna, dear worshipable devotees, thank you so much for your wonderful association. I see Prabhu, Kartik Prabhu, Vaswati Mataji, Parth Sakha Prabhu, Sushilpa Mataji, Priya Mataji, Ravi Prabhu, and Manjrali Priya. Please accept my humble obeisance. All glories to you for your eagerness to read, hear, chant Prabhupada's books. And this is a very, very important limb in our sadhana, in our devotional service, to regularly read Prabhupada's books. And we are reading Śrī Caitanya-caritāmṛta, Adi Lila chapter 5. Chapter 5, the glories of Lord Nityaānanda, Balarāma. And we have read till text number 86 last time, right? So we'll resume from the next verse, which is here, 87. Etad ishanam ishasya prakritistopi tadgunai na yujjate sadatmasthir yatha buddhis tadashraya. Translation by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Purport as well. Okay. This is the opulence of the Lord. Although situated within the material nature, he is never affected by the modes of the nature. Similarly, those who have surrendered to him and fixed their intelligence upon him are not influenced by the modes of material nature. Actually, now I'm remembering that we read this verse. So not only Krishna is affected or is not affected by the modes of material nature, who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but also very, very nice verse to talk about the glories of the devotees. Those great souls, those who have yatha buddhis tad ashraya, those who have engaged their mind and intelligence in the shelter of the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord, they are also not influenced by the modes of material nature. Right? Very, very important. Whether they are in heaven or hell, they're not affected. Whether they are in joy or sorrow, they are not affected. Whether they are in India or America, they're not affected. Why? Because they're always in Shuddha Sattva. Mahatmanastu mam partha devim prakriti mash. They're under the Devi Prakriti, the divine energy of the Lord, the spiritual energy of the Lord. They're not affected by the material energy of the Lord. And that's what we all should aspire for. Because this world is full of dualities. In the Bhagavad Gita also Krishna says, Nirdvanda, become Nirdvanda, become free from dualities. In short, become transcendental, be above. In the life of Kunti Maharani, Draupadi, Pandavas, Prahlad, Dhruva, so many great devotees, so many challenges came, but they were not affected by those modes. Why? Yatha Buddhis tad ashraya. Because their mind, their heart, their intelligence was fixed at the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord. So the modes cannot affect such a person. Any other comments anyone has? 88. Lakshay, would you like to read from your new home? Let's begin, Śrī Caitanya-caritāmṛta from your new home. Want to read this verse? Are you able to see? You can read, please.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Kṛṣṇa devotees, Dandavat Pranam, all the Srila Prabhupada. Text 88. এই মত গীতাতে পুনঃ পুনঃ কয় সর্বদা ঈশ্বর তত্ত্ব অচিন্ত শক্তি হয়. Translation. Thus, the Bhagavad Gita also states again and again that the absolute truth always possesses inconceivable power. So, the absolute truth, the supreme person of Godhead, Lord Krishna, he is the all Oshurja, 6 opulences. So, but those opulences are inconceivable as well for us, because he not only created this material world, also spiritual world and everything under the control of him. Back to Prabhuji. Hare Kṛṣṇa.
Very nice. So Bhagavad Gita also says there are many verses in Bhagavad Gita. Can anyone tell? Now Bhagavata says multiple verses. That's what this verse is. That A Mata Gita Oi Punah Punah. Punah Punah means again and again. So anyone can tell any verse which fits in this category. Basically, it's talking about the inconceivable power, strength, opulence of the Lord.
Aham sarvasya pravartate. No, sorry. Aham sarvasya prabhu mokta sarvam pravartate.
Very nice. He's the source of everything. Everything emanates from him. Very nice. Param Brahma, Param Dhama, Pavitram, Paramam Bhavan, Purusham Shashvatam Divyam, Adi Devam, Ajam Vibhum. Right? He's the supreme. He's the original. He's the Adi Deva, Aja, Vibhu. So many words are used. Anyone else can tell a verse from Bhagavad Gita which talks about the inconceivable power of the Lord? Pita hamasya jagato mata dhata pitamaha. He's the father, he's the mother, he's the grandsire, right, of everyone. Who else wants to share any verse? You can tell in English if you don't remember the Sanskrit, it's okay. Anything you heard. Bhagavad Nityaṁ Chaitanas Chaitananam. It's not from Bhagavad Gita. Eko Bahunanyo Vididhati Kaman. It's another I think Shvetashvar Upanishad. In short, there are multiple verses, and Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is actually referring a few verses. So let's read 89. Who wants to read? Lakshya, you ready? Go ahead.
Yes, Guruji. Let's take 9. Amita jagate vashi jagat amate na ame jagate vashi na ama jagate. Translation: Lord Krishna said, I am situated in the material world and the world rests in me. But at the same time, I am not situated in the material world, nor does it rest in me in truth. Hare Kṛṣṇa. Purport. Nothing in existence is possible unless energized by the will of the Lord. The entire manifested creation is therefore resting on the energy of the Lord. But one should not therefore presume that the material manifestation is identical with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. A cloud may rest in the sky, but that does not mean that the sky and a cloud are one and the same. Similarly, the qualitative material nature and its product are never identical with the Supreme Lord. The tendency to lord it over material nature or Maya cannot be a feature of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. When he descends to the material world, he maintains his transcendental nature unaffected by the material qualities. In both the spiritual and material worlds, he is always the controller of all energies. The uncontaminated spiritual nature always exists with him. The Lord appears and disappears in the material world in different features for his pastimes. Yet he is the origin of all cosmic manifestation. The material manifestation cannot exist separate from the Supreme Lord, yet Lord Vishnu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, in spite of his connection with the material nature, cannot be subordinate to nature's influence. His original form of eternal bliss and knowledge is never subordinate to the three qualities of material nature. Specific feature of the Supreme Lord's inconceivable potencies. Hare Kṛṣṇa.
What did you understand, dear Lakshmi Prabhu?
In this verse, it's that whenever like the material world and the material nature are different from Krishna, just like the cloud and sky are different. And whenever Krishna comes down to the material world, he does not lose his transcendental form, and he stays in his transcendental form, and he doesn't get affected by Maya.
How does the cloud example fit in here? What is
Because
by the word in this cloud?
Because the sky is like air and clouds are particles of water. Because water vapor makes water vapor makes clouds, but water vapor does not make the sky. So they're different. They're made of different materials, so they're different things.
Okay, very nice. So the cloud rests in the sky, Prabhupada is saying, but that does not mean that the cloud and the sky are the same. Or sometimes the air example is also given. The air carries an aroma, but that doesn't mean that the air and the aroma are the same, right? The very nice verse in Bhagavad Gita, which fits very, very well in this connection here. Let's read this. Who wants to read this one? 9.4. Anyone? Shilpa Mata, please, you want to read?
Yes, Prabhu, I'll try. Thank you. Hare Kṛṣṇa. Mājātatam idam sarva jagat avyuttama murtina matstani sarva bhutani macha hamte na chaham seva avashtita. Hare Krishna. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada Ki Jai. My unmanifested form, this entire universe is pervaded. All beings are in me, but I'm not in them. By me in my unmanifested form. Prabhuji, sorry, I'm reading from mobile, so
Yeah, it's a little confusing, right?
yeah.
Because in this, maya tatam idam sarvam, right? Or na chaham teshu avasthita. And if we go back, just the next verse in here, na cha matsthani bhutani, right? The word na is used. And if we look the previous verse, in the previous verse, Krishna says, matsthani sarva bhutani. Do you see? So when the word na comes, it's like not, right? So although everything is in, like, he's the controller, maintainer, sustainer, provider, bharta, prabhu, sakshi, srishti, sthiti, pralaya, sadhana, shakti. He is the one who sustains, originates, maintains, controls, destroys everything. Yet he remains aloof. I think we discussed that part. Through his different energies, incarnations, amshas, kalas. Now we are reading that, right? You all remember amsha? Amsha is kala. The plenary portion of the plenary portion is kala, referring to the incarnations. Amsha is the direct, like for example, Balarāma. But yet he remains aloof. He is not affected by. We have discussed that in the previous verses also. He is untouched by the material dualities, material modes, etc. And you remember a very, very long purport we read? That was the whole purport was also about this theme, that the Supreme Lord is untouched by material modes. So this is the text number 89, which fits in very well, almost the Bengali version of 9.4 and 9.5. Amita jagatavasi jagat amate na ami jagatavasi. Now look at these two lines. Amita jagatavasi, and then the same na ami jagatavasi. That means, yes, I ami the jagat I'm stood in the material world, but still he's aloof. Na ami jagate. Did you see the word na? The first and the second line, first and the third, and the second and the fourth line, if you see, is basically the same. The word na has come. So I'm situated in the material world, and the world rests in me, but at the same time, I'm not situated in the material world. You see this line here and this line, just add the word not. The world rests in me, but nor does it rest in me. It's not a contradiction, actually. It's not that Krishna spoke something in 9.4 and then, oh, no, I'm sorry, humans make mistakes. Sometimes we say something, no, I didn't mean that. Sorry, actually, no. Like for example, let's say, I live in Sarasota. Oh, no, sorry. My friend lives in Sarasota. I live in Punta Gorda. I want to correct myself. That's not what Krishna is trying to say here. Krishna is trying to share his opulence, his inconceivable power. Those who have inconceivable power can only do it. That's Krishna. Okay, next verse, 90. Who wants to read? Kartik Prabhu, are you in a position to read? We're very happy that you are, somehow you have given your association to us today in reading, in spite of your busy schedule. You want to read 90th verse?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. I would like to read, Prabhu.
Please, Mataji, please.
Achintya aisvaya e janiha amara eta gitara artha Kailpa Parachara. Translation: O Arjuna, you should know this as my inconceivable opulence. This is the meaning propagated by Lord Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita.
Very cool. Thank you so
Hare
much,
Krishna.
Mataji. So now we discuss which verse specifically Krishna is referring here, 9.4 and 9.5 actually, which is very, very similar to what we just read. So it's not that Krishna spoke this by mistake, but this is the inconceivable opulence, inconceivable amara, achintya. We cannot understand through the eyes of materialistic mundane vision. We cannot understand it. For example, if someone says like this and negates the statement like we just said, then we will call that person a liar or something. Hey, how can you say like that? Like if I say actually, I'm in India, but I'm in US, but I'm in Europe also at the same time. You'll say you're a fool actually. What are you talking about? Right? And then like if I say today morning I was at my home with my wife, and then I was also in my business meeting in Michigan, and then I was in India with my mother, and then I was in Europe with my friend, and also a part of me was in Australia with talking to, going to some amusement park. You'll say, are you crazy or what? Right? Is it not? Like Lakshya, you say like that? This person is crazy. But Krishna, it's his inconceivable opulence. He is present with 16,108 wives at the same time. He is present in the Goloka Vrindavan. Multiple incarnations are working parallelly. He is doing the creation. Somewhere Damodar Lila is happening. Somewhere Govardhan Lila is happening. Somewhere is killing Putna. Somewhere is lifting the hill. Yes, that's may seem inconceivable. Therefore, it's called achintaya. Therefore, it's extraordinary. It's beyond our mundane and in our tiny head. We cannot fit in. Therefore, avajananti mam moda manusham tanumashritam. When he comes in the human form, people mistake him as ordinary. But he is not ordinary. His potencies are inconceivable. Yes, therefore, he is the one who runs the show. At the same time, is aloof of all this material creation also. Any thoughts, comments so far? Okay, thank you. Thank you so much, Mataji, for reading number 90. Let's move on to 91. Priya Mataji, you want to read? Vaswati Mataji, you want to read?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Congress to Srila Prabhupada. Text 91. সেই তো পুরুষ যার অংশ ধরে নাম চৈতন্যের সঙ্গে সেই নিত্যানন্দ রাম. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Prabhupada ki jai. That Mahapurusha, Karanadakshay Vishnu, is known as a plenary part of him, who is Lord Nityaānanda Balarāma, the favorite associate of Lord Chaitanya. So Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is telling the Purush, the Mahapurush, he mentioned the Karanadakshay Vishnu as a Mahapurush, and his plenary portion is Lord Nityaānanda Balarāma, and who is the favorite associates of Lord Chaitanya. Back to Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So basically, Shri Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami is wrapping up the description of Mahapurusha or Karanadakshay Vishnu or Mahavishnu or Karananda Avashai Vishnu, Karana Arnavashai Vishnu, multiple. The form of the Lord who is resting on the causal ocean, the water, the spiritual water, also called as Viraja river, also the spiritual water. That's the water where Mahavishnu lies. That's the personality. When he inhales, the universes come into his body, and when he exhales, all the universes come out of the unlimited lomas. You remember that word we discussed? The hairs. These are called like different lomas. We have pores, skin pores, basically. How many pores we have, Lakshay, on our body? Do you know? 1,000 or 10,000? It's a lot. Maybe 100 trillion. I don't know, but that's a lot. We can't count it. So in short, it's just to show the and we're talking about our body. If an elephant's body would have more pores, right? A blue whale have more pores. The more the surface area, the more the pores. And what about the Mahapurusha body, right? His body will be like so big, you can't imagine. All these universes, when they rest on Ananta's head, they are like mustard seeds, tiny mustard seeds. Maybe we can pick 1,000 in our hand. They are like, these universes are like mustard seeds. So you can imagine the body of Ananta, and on that Ananta lies the Vishnu. So you cannot fathom the greatness. So is the plenary part of him here, referring to Balarāma and Nityānanda. 92. Who wants to read? Has not yet, right? Yes, Manjulali, Priya, you want to read? Parth? Oh, okay, yeah. Manjulali, please read.
Hare Krishna, please accept my beloved obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Text 92. Etanavamashlokeera artha vivarana dashamashlokeera artha shunadiyamana. Translation. I have thus explained the 9th verse, and now I shall explain the 10th. Please listen with rapt attention. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Krishna. So this is the transition from the 9th to the 10th verse. 9th verse of Adi Lila chapter 1 and 10th verse will talk about the Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. 9th verse primarily talks about the Karanadakshay Vishnu. So tomorrow we will, it's a perfect kind of a segue to pause and transition. So from 10th verse, or the description of 10th verse, which is from text 93, for the next 15 verses till 108, we will read tomorrow onwards. But to pause here, Shuna Diyamana. Diyamana means Krishna ko man dena. Reading Bhagavatam, hearing Bhagavatam, Shravanam, we have to give our mind. Man dedo. Man diya mana. Diya means give. Please give your mind. These days, mindfulness is a very big thing. What is mindful? Mindfulness, mindful eating, mindful relationship, mindful yoga, mindful this, blah, blah, blah. All this, it means we just be attentive in whatever we do. When we are eating, eat, focus on just giving attention to what we are doing. Very simple. Giving attention. When we are chanting, chant attentively. When we are hearing a class, give our ears fully to. When we are in a meeting, give our mind to that process. When we are driving, again, easier said than done, especially in this day and age where concentration, the attention span is very, very little, especially with the technological advancements or degradation and attention. It's very hard. And therefore, a lot of problems are happening. Physical problems, relationship problems, mental problems, emotional problems, because we are not giving attention to what we are doing. But back to the point here, we should hear with rapt attention. Krishna also says in Bhagavad Gita, in Bhāgavatam, Shukadeva Goswami says multiple times, and in here, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is saying multiple times. Please hear with rapt attention. So we will hear text 10 as explanation from tomorrow. Śrī Caitanya-caritāmṛta ki jai, Shri Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami Mahāshay ki jai, Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai, Samveta Gaur Bhaktarinda ki jai, Vidāya Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bo. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripasindubhyaiva cha patitānām pavanekya Vaishnavibhyo namo namo. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Jai Śrīla Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, thank you so much.